This story is called Old Tom Comes Home by Craig Groshek. A cruel old man and his son lived alone on a farm, far from the city, and the winter months were dreadful and lonely with no one else to talk to. Each night, come supper time, the son would turn to his father. "Father," the boy would say, "why must we live so far from the city? For I am lonely and would like to meet someone with whom to play." And his father would say nothing in return, but continue eating his bread and butter. And each day the boy seemed to grow a bit paler. One day the boy did not appear for breakfast, and his chores had not been done. Eager to punish his son, the old man approached the boy's bedside, belt in hand. But the man took one look at his son and dropped to his knees. The boy was as white as a ghost, with not an ounce of strength left in him. At that moment the old man promised that he would be cruel no longer. "My son," the old man said, "we must live here and not the city, for I too am lonely, but must work this farm to earn our living." And his son said nothing in return, but lay there, his breath but a whisper, his skin as cold as ice. That very day the old man set out for the city to fetch a doctor, but not one would come to see his son so far from town. And so the old man packed his things and was about to leave, when a sign caught his eye. "Kittens," it read, "free to a good home." And the man knew just what to do. The boy was still in bed, pale as ever, when his father arrived back from the city with a tiny gray kitten under his arm. Upon seeing the cat, the boy smiled and regained his strength right then. From then on, the boy and the cat were inseparable. "Tom," the boy would say, for that is what he named him. "Come with me, for I must milk the cows." And Tom would come running, his tail swishing behind him. Wherever the boy would go, the cat would follow. This went on for some time, till spring came. At that time, in the night, Tom would not be found. And the next morning the old man found feathers strewn about and 3 chickens dead. Oh, the old man was angry, but was careful to keep his promise to his son, and so he kept his temper. "You know, my boy, I love you so," the old man said, "but if he kills once more, the cat must go." And the boy listened and nodded, his eyes on the cat purring in his lap. The next day, in the night, Tom again could not be found. And the next morning the old man again found feathers strewn about and 3 more chickens dead. And the old man was very angry and could not keep his temper. "You know, my boy, I told you so," the old man said. "He killed once more, and so the cat must go." And the boy listened and nodded, his eyes on the cat purring on his lap. The next day the old man hauled the cat to town, and he carried him across the river and through the woods and turned him loose. And the old man turned and left him there, and the cat licking his paw as if nothing was wrong. The old man, well, he got home just before dark, and he saw his son sitting on the porch, and the cat purring in his lap, same as always. And the old man, he was confused and angry, and he broke his promise. "My boy, that cat must go," the old man said cruelly. "But if he kills once more, old Tom must go. This time in a sack that's filled with stones. The cat will call the river home." And the boy listened and nodded, his eyes on the cat purring in his lap. The next day 9 chickens died, and the old man was so very angry, he grabbed the cat and he drove to the city, and he got some big rocks and put the rocks in a sack. He tied old Tom up in the sack and tossed him in the river. The old man turned and left him there. Again the old man reached home before dark, and he saw his son sitting on the porch, and the cat sitting beside him, soaked to the bone, and licking his paw as if nothing was wrong. And the cruel old man, he had enough of the cat. "My boy, the cat must love you so," the old man said, "for he should be in the sack that's filled with stones. This time in a hole dug 3 feet below, the cat will call his gravestone home." And the boy listened and nodded, his eyes on the cat purring beside him. And the cruel old man, he handed his son an axe and sent him to the woods to find the stump. And the boy, he took the axe and grabbed his cat. He laid old Tom on the stump, he raised the axe, and he let it fall. And he chopped the cat beneath the eyes, and the boy turned pale, and he left him there. Back at the farm, the boy found his father on the porch and sat beside him, and his father said nothing, but continued rocking in his chair. Minutes passed, maybe hours. Not a word did they speak to each other, and then suddenly the boy spoke again, jumping to his feet. "Father," he said, "look, old Tom's come home." And the cruel old man, he looked out to the road, and there was the cat, trotting out of the woods and into the drive, his bloody head in his mouth, chopped beneath the eye.